Welcome to our channel History of Coins, where we explore the hidden gems of numismatics. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of rare 1-cent coins, cause some of these coins are rare among collectors and are worth millions. So today, we are gonna uncover the rarest coins and their values. So make sure to watch the complete video and find out if you have one of these. Now let's continue our today's video. Top 1 today, we have something truly fascinating to discuss. The 1966 United States 1-cent coin. At first glance, this might seem like just another penny from the 1960s, but there's more to this coin than meets the eye. In fact, the 1966 penny could be hiding a small fortune, and today we're going to uncover exactly why it's one of the most interesting and valuable coins out there. Whether you're an experienced collector or just starting to dive into the world of rare coins, this penny could be your next big discovery. So let's jump in and explore everything that makes the 1966 1-cent coin so special. First, let's set the stage. The 1966 1-cent coin features the timeless portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln's image has been gracing the U.S. penny since 1909, making it one of the most iconic and recognizable figures in American coinage. The reverse of the coin shows the familiar wheat stalks, which were part of the design until 1958, before being replaced with the Lincoln Memorial. But don't let the design fool you. While the 1966 penny may appear to be a regular coin, there are hidden factors that make this penny much rarer and more valuable than you might think. Now, let's talk about rarity. While the 1966 penny was minted in large quantities, there are certain characteristics that can make it stand out from the rest. Most pennies from this era were widely circulated, and as a result, they've seen their fair share of wear and tear. But what if you find a 1966 penny in exceptional condition? That's when the magic happens. Coins that have been carefully preserved over the years, avoiding the usual signs of wear, are considered much rarer than their more circulated counterparts. A 1966 penny in uncirculated condition is a rare gem, and collectors know that such well-preserved pieces are worth far more than their face value. But it doesn't end there. The real excitement for collectors comes from minting errors. Mint errors are what make certain coins truly special, and the 1966 penny has its fair share of potential errors that can make it worth far more than a regular penny. The 1966 penny is known for some fascinating errors that make it particularly sought after by coin collectors. One of the most interesting errors to look for is the double die obverse. This happens when the die that strikes the coin is misaligned, causing the design to be stamped multiple times. As a result, you can end up with a doubled image of Abraham Lincoln's portrait or the inscription, "In God We Trust," giving the coin a distinct and valuable appearance. Double die coins are highly prized by collectors, and a 1966 penny with this error could be worth a significant amount. Another error to keep an eye out for is the no mint mark error. Typically, coins minted in Philadelphia do not have a mint mark, but in rare cases, certain 1966 pennies were accidentally struck without a mint mark when they should have had one. These coins are extremely rare, and their value skyrockets among collectors. If you find a 1966 penny with this error, you may be holding a piece of history that's worth much more than you initially thought. And let's not forget about the general condition of the coin. Even without a minting error, a 1966 penny in top condition can fetch a pretty penny, pun intended. Coins from this era that have been preserved in excellent condition, without any signs of damage or corrosion, are considered valuable because they have withstood the test of time. Now, let's get to the most exciting part, the value. A regular 1966 penny might only be worth a few cents, but when you find one that's been kept in pristine condition, or even better, one with a rare minting error like the double die obverse or a no mint mark error, you could be sitting on a valuable treasure. In fact, a 1966 1-cent coin with these unique features could be worth as much as $78,000. Yes, that's right, $78,000 for a single penny. While this may seem hard to believe, it's absolutely true. If you've got a 1966 penny in your collection that's in excellent condition or one that features a rare minting error, it could be worth a small fortune. So the next time you come across a 1966 penny, make sure to inspect it closely. You might just have a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. As we wrap up today's video, remember that the world of coin collecting is full of surprises. What might seem like an ordinary penny can sometimes turn out to be a valuable treasure. So keep searching through your collections, check your change, and you might just find a 1966 penny that will blow your mind. Top 2, we're diving into one of the most fascinating coins from the 1970s, the 1970 United States 1-cent coin. At first glance, this may seem like just another penny, right? After all, it was produced during a time when the US was minting billions of these coins. But hold on to your seats, because there's a lot more to this coin than meets the eye. In fact, this humble penny could be worth a lot more than you might expect. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, this is a coin you'll want to learn about. First, let's talk about the basics. The 1971-cent coin features the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln has been the face of the penny since 1909, making it one of the most recognizable coins in American history. The reverse side of the coin shows the familiar wheat stalks, which were part of the penny design from 1909 to 1958. In 1959, this design was replaced with the Lincoln Memorial, but the 1970 penny still carries the classic Lincoln portrait and the wheat motif that collectors love. Now, let's get into why this seemingly ordinary penny is so extraordinary. The 1970 penny was part of a series that saw a lot of coins being minted, but not all of them are created equal. You see, while the US Mint produced an enormous quantity of these pennies, the real value lies in the condition of the coin and, more importantly, in the possibility of rare minting errors. Minting errors are the secret treasure that makes some coins far more valuable than others. If you're holding a 1970 penny, the first thing you'll want to check is its condition. While many of these coins have been used in daily circulation, some have survived in near-perfect or uncirculated condition. Coins that have been well preserved are much rarer than those that have been spent and tossed around, making them far more valuable to collectors. So, if you find a 1970 penny that looks like it just came out of the mint, you could have a real gem on your hands. But the true value of the 1970 penny comes from the errors that occurred during the minting process. These minting errors are what make certain coins incredibly valuable to collectors, and the 1970 penny is no exception. One of the most significant errors to look for in this series is the double die obverse error. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin becomes misaligned, causing the image to be stamped more than once. As a result, you may notice doubled features on the coin, such as a doubled date or a doubled inscription. This kind of error is highly sought after, and a 1970 penny with this characteristic could fetch a much higher price than a standard issue coin. Another error you should keep an eye out for is the reverse die clash error. This happens when two dies make contact with each other during the minting process, causing an imprint of the reverse design to appear on the obverse of the coin. If you happen to find a 1970 penny with this type of error, you could be sitting on a highly valuable coin. The rarity of such errors makes them a hot commodity in the world of coin collecting. Even without minting errors, a 1970 penny in excellent, uncirculated condition can still be worth a lot more than a regular penny. This is because the survival rate of coins in pristine condition is much lower than those that have been circulated over time. Coins that have survived with little to no damage or wear are considered rarities, and their value increases accordingly. So, how much can a 1970 penny really be worth? Well, if you happen to have one of these rare coins in excellent condition, or if you find one with a minting error like the double die obverse or reverse die clash, you could be looking at a coin worth as much as $75,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $75,000 for a single penny. It's hard to believe, but it's true. The combination of rarity, condition, and minting errors makes this coin incredibly valuable. So the next time you're going through your change, make sure to give your pennies a closer look. You might just find that the humble 1970 penny is more than meets the eye. Top 3, we're diving into one of the most interesting pennies in US coin history, the 1974 1-cent coin. You might be thinking, it's just another penny from the 1970s, but trust me, this is a coin that holds much more value than you could ever imagine. And today, I'm going to share with you exactly why this seemingly ordinary penny could be worth far more than its face value. Let's first talk about the basics of the 1974 penny. Like all pennies minted after 1909, it features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln has been the face of the U.S. penny for over a century, and his image has become synonymous with American currency. On the reverse, you'll notice the classic memorial design, which replaced the wheat stalks in 1959. This design pays tribute to the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., and it's been the reverse of the penny ever since. But what really sets the 1974 penny apart from others, especially when it comes to value, is its rarity and the potential for finding some rare minting errors. As you may already know, coin collectors often seek out those elusive errors, and the 1974 penny has its own set of unique characteristics that make it stand out from the crowd. The first thing you'll want to consider when evaluating the value of a 1974 penny is its condition. Like most coins from this era, the vast majority of 1974 pennies were circulated and, as a result, are in less than perfect condition. But here's where the excitement begins. If you happen to find a 1974 penny that's been well preserved and is in uncirculated or near mint condition, that's when the real value starts to shine through. Coins that have been kept in pristine condition over the years are much rarer than those that were tossed into circulation and spent over time. So, if you're holding a 1974 penny in excellent shape, you're already looking at a more valuable coin than most. Now, let's talk about minting errors. Minting errors are one of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting because they create rare and unique coins that can be worth far more than their regular counterparts. The 1974 penny, in particular, has a few key errors that can make it extremely valuable. One of the most sought-after errors for this coin is the double die obverse. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned, causing the image of Abraham Lincoln to be stamped more than once. As a result, you end up with a doubled portrait of Lincoln, which is highly collectible. Double die obverse coins are known for their rarity and demand, and if you're lucky enough to have a 1974 penny with this error, it could significantly increase the coin's value. Another error to look out for with the 1974 penny is the copper plating error. This error happens when the copper plating that covers the coin fails to properly bond with the underlying metal, leading to parts of the coin being exposed. This can give the penny a distinctive appearance, and because this type of error is relatively rare, collectors are always on the lookout for these coins. A 1974 penny with a copper plating error is definitely a find that can boost the value of your collection. And if you think that's all, there's another rare mint error you should keep in mind, the off-center strike error. This occurs when the coin is struck off-center during the minting process, causing the design to be misaligned. This can create a unique look, and collectors who specialize in error coins are often willing to pay top dollar for these kinds of mistakes. But what makes the 1974 penny even more exciting for collectors is the fact that many of these errors are not found in the average roll of pennies or even at coin shops. These errors are so rare that when one surfaces, it's like uncovering a hidden treasure. For collectors, it's all about finding those coins that stand out from the rest, whether it's because of their pristine condition or the presence of a rare minting error. Now, the big question is, how much is a 1974 penny actually worth? If you find one of these pennies in top condition or with a rare minting error like the double die obverse or copper plating error, you could be holding a coin that is worth as much as $71,000. That's right, $71,000 for a single penny. It may sound unbelievable, but it's true. The rarity, condition, and minting errors found in certain 1974 pennies can make them extremely valuable to collectors. So, the next time you go through your pennies, take a moment to check for any signs of these rare features. You might just find a treasure that could change your coin collection forever. Top 4, we're taking a closer look at a seemingly ordinary penny, the 1978 United States 1-cent coin. At first glance, this might seem like just another penny from the late 20th century, but hold on to your seats, because this coin could actually be worth a whole lot more than its face value. There's a lot about the 1978 penny that's truly fascinating, and I'm here to share with you why this coin is one that collectors are excited about, and why you should care about it, too. First, let's take a quick trip back in time. The 1978 penny features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Since 1909, Lincoln has been the face of the penny, and his image has become an enduring symbol of the United States. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll find the famous Lincoln Memorial, which was first introduced in 1959. It's a classic design that's instantly recognizable to anyone who's ever handled U.S. currency. So, what makes the 1978 penny stand out in the world of coin collecting? To begin with, the coin was minted during a period when the United States was producing millions of pennies each year. Most of these pennies were circulated and spent in everyday transactions, so finding one in pristine condition today is a rarity in itself. But it's not just about condition. There are other factors that make the 1978 penny particularly interesting and valuable to collectors. One of the key elements that sets this coin apart is its potential for errors. Minting errors are what makes some coins incredibly valuable and highly sought after by collectors. For the 1978 penny, there are a few specific errors to watch out for that could increase the coin's worth dramatically. For example, one of the most valuable errors you can find is the double die obverse. This occurs when the die that strikes the coin is misaligned, causing the design to be stamped more than once. This results in a doubled image of Lincoln's portrait or the inscriptions on the coin, and these doubled features are easy to spot if you know what you're looking for. Double die coins are always in demand, and a 1978 penny with this error could be worth much more than a regular one. Another error that can make the 1978 penny especially valuable is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is struck off-center during the minting process, leading to a misalignment in the design. Off-center strike coins are unique and stand out from the rest, making them a desirable find for collectors who specialize in minting errors. The more extreme the off-center strike, the more valuable the coin can be. In addition to these minting errors, the general condition of the 1978 penny plays a crucial role in determining its value. Coins that have been well preserved, with minimal wear and no signs of damage, are considered rarities. Many pennies from this era were used in everyday transactions, so the survival rate of uncirculated coins is relatively low. If you come across a 1978 penny that looks almost as good as the day it was minted, you could be looking at a coin that's worth far more than just 1 cent now. Let's talk about the big question. How much could a 1978 penny really be worth? It's important to remember that while the vast majority of 1978 pennies are worth only a few cents, those with rare errors or exceptional condition can fetch much higher prices. In fact, a 1978 penny with a minting error like the double die obverse, or one that's in perfect condition, could be worth as much as $67,000. Yes, you heard that right. $67,000 for a single penny. While that may sound unbelievable, it's absolutely true. The combination of rarity, condition, and minting errors makes the 1978 penny a highly valuable coin for collectors who know what to look for. So, the next time you're going through your change or sorting through your coin collection, take a moment to carefully examine any 1978 pennies you come across. You might just be holding a small fortune in your hands. I hope you found this information as exciting as I did. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and the 1978 penny is just one example of how a simple coin can hold incredible value. Top 5, we're diving into a coin that might not get as much attention as some of the more famous rarities. But don't be fooled. This one is absolutely worth your time. I'm talking about the 1981 United States 1 cent coin. On the surface, it might seem like just another modern penny, but trust me, there's more to this coin than meets the eye. In fact, the 1981 penny could be worth a lot more than you might expect, and I'm here to tell you exactly why. Let's start with a little background. The 1981 penny, like all pennies minted after 1909, features the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, or front side, designed by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln has been the face of the U.S. penny for over a century, and his image remains a staple of American currency. On the reverse side, you'll find the familiar Lincoln Memorial, which had been the reverse design since 1959. It's a design that's beloved by collectors, and it's what makes the 1981 penny instantly recognizable. But the question is, why should you pay attention to the 1981 penny when there were billions of them produced? Well, this coin's value comes from a combination of factors, particularly its rarity in certain conditions and the potential for minting errors. These factors can make a seemingly ordinary penny worth far more than its face value, and that's what makes this coin truly exciting for collectors. First and foremost, the 1981 penny wasn't minted in particularly low numbers compared to other years, but that's what makes the ones that have survived in pristine condition so rare. Coins that have been circulated over the years often show signs of wear, scratches, dents, discoloration. But when you find a penny that looks as if it just came out of the mint, that's when you have a true rarity on your hands. Uncirculated or near-mint condition coins are much rarer than you might think, and they can carry a significantly higher value. Now, let's talk about the minting errors that make the 1981 penny so intriguing. For coin collectors, errors are where the real excitement lies, and the 1981 penny is no exception. One of the most sought-after errors in this series is the double die obverse. This error happens when the die used to strike the coin becomes misaligned, causing the design to be stamped twice, creating a doubled image on the coin. With the 1981 penny, This could mean a doubled portrait of Lincoln or even a double date. These errors are particularly valuable because they are relatively rare and make the coin unique. If you're lucky enough to find a 1981 penny with a double die error, you could be looking at a coin worth far more than its face value. Another important error to keep an eye out for is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, causing the design to appear off-center. These types of coins are extremely popular among collectors because of their unique and distinctive look. The more off-center the strike, the more valuable the coin can be. If you come across a 1981 penny with a significant off-center strike, it could add a substantial amount to its value. And let's not forget about the clip planchet error. This happens when the metal planchet used to mint the coin is improperly cut, causing part of the coin to be missing. A clip planchet penny is a rare and highly collectible find that can be worth much more than a standard coin. If you have a 1981 penny with a clip planchet error, you've found something truly special. But here's the kicker. Even if your 1981 penny doesn't have a minting error, it could still be worth a lot more than you might think if it's in excellent condition. The key here is rarity. Coins that have been kept in uncirculated or nearly perfect condition are often worth much more than those that have been tossed around in your pocket. So, while many 1981 pennies are still circulating today, finding one that's well preserved is what makes it valuable to collectors. So, how much can a 1981 penny actually be worth? It's all about the condition and the possibility of errors. If you have one of these pennies in excellent shape, or perhaps one with a rare error like the double die obverse or off-center strike, you could be holding something worth as much as $67,000. Yes, you heard that right. $67,000 for a single penny. It's amazing to think that something so small can carry such immense value. But that's the world of coin collecting for you. The rarity, condition, and errors associated with certain 1981 pennies can make them incredibly valuable, and if you're lucky enough to have one in your collection, you may just be sitting on a small fortune. As always, make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you found it informative, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date on all things coin collecting. If you found any rare or valuable coins in your own collection, leave a comment below and share your story. I'd love to hear about your own coin hunting adventures. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting.